We rolling? Good morning. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Pudwill from I Know Somebody Houston. I'm here at work again at the Chronicle. This is the Chronicle building you see behind us. I'm with my coworker Joy Sewing and Misti Pace-Krahl. And so if you don't know, if you haven't heard, I feel like I'm on this, a hamster wheel with this event. But I Know Somebody has an event next week, March the 7th, called Me Too Houston. And what we are doing is providing you, our members, and you don't have to be a member, just be curious or watching and see these three gorgeous women talking and being animated and honest. But what we want to do is provide a place for women to share their Me Too experiences. I personally have one. I know Joy does.
I do.
So Misti does. Many women do, and it might not even be, like we were talking to Victoria on last Thursday, and she shared that she had a boss who insisted everybody give him a good morning hug, all the women. And,
really?
And and that's what she's like, she stopped doing it. She was like, I don't want to hug anymore. And she got ostracized, and I mean, so it can be something, and it can be just something covert. I mentioned yesterday to Charity, had a guy call me sweetie, and I know that he was probably just being kind, but it does make me bristle, and I don't want to stop all men from calling women sweeties. That is not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is if you feel perpetrated in any way, is to be able to say something. That's what I want to do. Is I want to empower women to say, like, that's not appropriate. I don't want you to talk to me that way.
Or just simply saying, I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I don't want to do that.
And giving women the tools and the vocabulary to stand up for themselves.
Exactly.
And I think that's really important.
Exactly.
I think a lot of times you might not even know that it's inappropriate until you talk to another woman and find out, wait a minute, that's not.
It made me uncomfortable,
Yeah,
but I thought it was
true.
okay.
Yeah.
The sharing part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And wherever that is, and having a safe place or person to share with. I feel like vulnerability is on both sides whenever you do share. So whether it's your personal experience or whether if you're the person that's receiving the information, it's creating a very vulnerable space. And so, how do you feel whenever it comes to receiving the information, and say, this is what has happened to me?
And, that is a lot of it because, I sponsor a lot of women in 12-step programs. And there are times when I get information that is very sensitive and very challenging. And what I've learned, instead of, I kind of like, okay, take a breath and listen and discern, and then I have questions that I'll ask and then approach it. But what I don't want to do is to,
Yeah.
you did what, or any type of shaming.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, it's the shaming of it.
I had somebody just the other day, I shared something with her that I said to my daughter, and she went, and I felt shamed,
Just
like I should not, yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So we do, that's what we want to do, is we want to make sure that we share these experiences so that you understand, hey, when somebody nods their head when I'm talking, shakes their head, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like what I'm saying is wrong, and we don't, we want to bring that out. We want to bring all of that up and make it a safe place to have that conversation.
Right. Because I think a lot of times even women shame each other. I remember telling a woman an experience that I had, and she immediately said, "What did you do?" And I thought, wow. And I just stopped. I did not continue the story. I just immediately felt shame.
So
and
the guard went up.
Yeah. And so
and will you tell it again? And that's the thing.
And that was the thing. I didn't. I didn't for many, many years because I'm like, I don't want to feel. I already feel bad enough as it is.
And it's like you did something wrong.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to feel that way.
Right. And I think it's really important that there be a safe space because people do that kind of share. They share a little bit and check to see if it's okay.
See if it's all right.
Watch the eyes.
And check to see if it's okay. And I think something like that, an event like this, is an open space that allows people to share and not have to do that little testing the water type thing.
Right.
That this is okay. Here we
Right.
are. We're here. all together and sharing our experiences.
Yeah.
So we kind of got past ourselves. I want you to introduce yourself.
Sure.
She does have
I'm hanging out with my friends. That's what I'm
She
doing.
is a really good friend. It's like Misty, as soon as I met her, I was, it was like this instant, let's do something, let's collaborate.
Yeah,
we are
Every
really
time
excited.
I've asked her to do something, she says yes. And I'm fully supportive of her organization and what she's doing. I loved what you did the last time.
Thank
I was
you.
like that. Those two female
Okay,
doctors.
you gotta tell them what you do.
Oh, that's true.
I know.
We're
Okay.
saying, I love
What
what
do
you
you
do.
do? Yes.
So tell them what you do,
I
and then
will.
I'll tell them what you did.
I'd be happy to. So I'm Misti Pace-Krahl. I'm the founder of the Mommy Series, which is an educational lecture series based on family, health, finance, and fashion. And we have quarterly series here in Houston where we support CEOs and founders of companies in our local community. Yeah.
So you buy, and the tickets are nominal, and you get to go to this event, and they have drinks. It's always in a really posh space, and it was at Sydney Dow's
Lodge.
boutique lodge downtown, and Discovery Green, which is, it was cold and really,
Rainy.
but
Oh,
it was so nice inside of there. It was, I had such a nice time. And she had these speakers, but the ones that I really enjoyed, that I've never seen anybody do, were two female gynecologists who talked about incontinence, and that is not normal, and that as you get older, it's not.
That's heavy.
Well, they can make it light, so not heavy.
So sweet, and they were cute. They were very,
Yeah.
they were very well educated, and I was like taking notes. I was like, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Like, yes.
It was a lot that I didn't even know, and a little bit of TMI, and I shared at the event was, well, we did Kegels there at the event, and they taught us the.
You did Kegels at
We
that event?
did.
And nobody knew.
And nobody knew.
Wow.
So
We could
she
be doing
simply-
them right
Okay,
now.
if you don't know what Kegels are, just Google it. We don't need to
And it will
explain,
help
just
you.
Google it.
It will
Yes.
help you, I promise. You can do it while you're in the car.
Do it anywhere.
Anywhere. And it taught you how to do it lightly. It's actually not supposed to be a very hard stimulation.
Not a rigorous exercise.
Yes, exactly. And so I felt like, you're lifting. Like if you're at the gym, you're lifting and you're like,
Ooh,
I'm so
literally.
strong, I can lift. And like they say, it's a delicate flower. So.
Look at Anna.
Delicate flower.
Hashtag delicate flower.
The whole point, though, is that was a safe space.
Yeah.
I felt totally comfortable doing that, and the two doctors that did it, they were very, they were clinical, they were educated, they were straight to the point, and it was comfortable. There was other women. We were kind of laughing and joking, but I learned so much.
So much, yeah.
So the Mommy Series. When's your next one?
It is going to be April 25th, and that is our summer edition. So we're looking forward to that great lineup. So stay tuned for that.
So we used to have all of our events on the same day. And
Without even talking
No.
to each other.
and I'd be like, I can't go. I have an event that day. So we switched it up, and we're doing events different days and different. We're not the last Wednesday of the month anymore,
Okay,
although we
great.
might be at some point. But so I can go,
Yay! I know, and she did, and she had a
and
great time.
I'm going to go to the next one too.
Okay, what's your website? Tell everybody.
www.themommyseries.com, and mommy is spelled MOMMIE.
And so Joy and I are longtime co-workers. We've known each other. I've been at the Chronicle over 20 years, so we've known each other at least that long.
Oh God! Why would you
believe
tell
it.
everybody that?
I
Oh my
did not know
God!
that.
Oh my God!
You were down there with all that huge
I
full.
know. I left and came back. I haven't been
But-
consecutive 20 years, but you know.
Yeah, but I've known you that long.
Okay.
So, and so now Joy writes about fashion, fitness, and children's books here at the Chronicle, and is a force up in the newsroom with social media. She got a editor's award about a year ago, I think, and somebody called her a social media badass.
Badass. I know.
I like that.
It is a social media badass,
Yeah.
but she also is a joy badass. She has it.
Hashtag joy badass.
Yeah, that might be your
Joy
new
badass.
one.
So tell them what you've got something going on this week.
Sure. So I started a couple years ago, probably it's a year of joy, and it was just my personal journey to live a more joyful life. I think a lot of times we fall into ruts and routines and don't really take a moment to really count our blessings, be grateful, and celebrate joy. So it was my personal journey, and then it spread into me being able to spread joy to area children, which is a passion of mine. So I am hosting, in conjunction with the library, a Wrinkle in Time screening tomorrow for about 50 kids from Peck Elementary, which is in my neighborhood, 3rd Ward. There are other kids that are participating, but that's my Year of Joy portion. And we have some of the kids will be at a special brunch with the star Storm Reed tomorrow morning. So that will be, we're really excited about that. So,
What a gift for the kids.
Yes,
yeah.
It's a great
Because it's not just the event and stuff, but A Wrinkle in Time, it's a book.
It is
Yeah.
a book.
And it's a great read. That was one of the read alouds that I did with Samantha.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome book. And I read a lot of books that way. I do read alouds with my daughter, you know?
And I think it's so important for children to experience the joyful moments, it's not just about, homework and all that kind of stuff, but being able to just celebrate being a kid and celebrating joyful moments. And I think that it exposes them to, endless possibilities. So that's what
And it does.
Yeah.
Reading is
wonderful.
Yeah.
It is a good escape. It
Yeah.
can be addictive. Like anything.
Yeah.
So our event is March the 7th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. It's at the Recovery Council. It's a central location. It's Jackson Hill and Memorial. There's free parking. We have 4 panelists. We have Rana Moncuris, we have Jenny Dow Creech, Melanie Bragg, Sharita Perez. Those women are all powerful Houston women, and they're going to talk and have a discussion about it. And then we're going to open it up to the audience and hear, I've learned something in every one of these that I've done. Just the aspect of, making it like, I love the, what'd you say, share, check, share.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I do that, I didn't know there was a name for it.
No,
but-
it's a therapeutical. It's in therapy.
Yeah. Not that you've ever done that.
No, I mean.
But yeah,
everybody
I
was
think
in
that's a
therapy.
really good idea because I have done that, like shared something and then saw the effect it had.
Yes,
you
it's
know,
true.
and,
Well, I love following Brene Brown, and she talks about the shame story, and you've won the lottery if you can share your shame story with your truth and with honesty, without having that where you're almost having to take your shame story and go, okay, now I'm gonna have to comfort them, and you've won the lottery if you can do that with even one person in a safe place. So.
I learned about that from going to Unity Church, and they had this, it was like I don't know if it was a Course in Miracles or some type of like a group setting, and they talked about the power of share, check, share. And that sometimes people overshare and then they feel very vulnerable and feel very unsafe.
You can get a hangover from that.
Yeah.
You start reliving it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I said this, and
And then
so,
how do you take it back? How do you hold
Yeah,
yourself
no,
back?
you can't.
So they talk.
I wish I hadn't said.
Yeah, so they talk about this doing share a little bit, check to see if it's okay, share a little bit. Yeah, so I thought that's where I learned it from.
That's really awesome.
In that check period too, that's where someone else says, oh, they've gone through the same thing I have, and then it allows them to even share and then check themselves with you, so then that's a great dialogue between two people whenever they start sharing and feeling safe in the same space. So I applaud you for continuing to open up a safe place for women to share and have the vulnerability.
And I also want to applaud you too. So if you didn't know, Elizabeth just wrote an editorial a couple weeks ago about the right to vote and how she had lost her right to vote after being charged with a felony. And how she just gained the right to vote. She got her.
I got my voter card. I wish I had it because I'd show you.
and you know what's so interesting is that we take for granted. We take for granted the right to vote. And here she is. She was beaming, telling me that she had her voter card and she couldn't wait to vote. And I think, you know, those are just things that it's about sharing, and the fact that she would share that with the world.
Yes.
I think it's very powerful.
Very.
And it was one of those things where I checked. I was
Yes,
like, ooh,
yeah,
do
yeah.
I really want to do this? And yeah, I do, because I think that it's an important issue like this,
Yeah.
you know. And I have experienced it, and I'm on the other side. And it's the same thing with the Me Too.
Yeah.
I have experienced that,
Right.
and I'm on the other side, and I have valuable experience and lessons, as you guys do, that we can share with others and make it safe. There's someone who's this far away from it, that it
that's
just
so true.
happened.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And you're invited. Please come. You can find the ticket information on the post. It's $25. We are a nonprofit. That's a tax deductible ticket. So it's almost nothing. That goes right off of your tax when you're doing your income taxes next year, not this year. And you can make a donation, which also comes right off if you need that. If you ever need that, I know somebody receives donations, but we use that money. We use that money to provide you with more events like this, and we also help kids with backpacks in the summer, and we have our Every Woman Empowerment Fund. And we want you to come, and we want you to share, and we want you to feel safe. And then, if nothing else, this has been fun this morning.
Yes.
And we always
Yes.
have fun.
Yes.
And we learned something and if you didn't know about cables, you learned something too. That you need to do them gently.
Take care of the delicate flower.
My delicate flower. Thanks for watching. Please like and share, like and share, like and share.
Bye.